Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Steelers Fan TV. For which is, I'm not quite sure which episode we're on, but it's quite a high one now. I mean, we've been doing it for some time. Um, so today I just want to be talking about sort of the weekend just gone, obviously like normal. The new signing that we have just announced today. I want to touch up a little bit on that. I'm sorry about the sunlight here. I can't really do anything about it. I don't have a blind. Um, Also, I want to talk about the weekend ahead and things that have just the Steelers in general. I mean, I think we all need to touch upon that a little bit because it is getting a bit frustrating now. The weekend just gone, so we'll not talk about Saturday because I don't want to. Sunday against the Devils, it was frustrating because obviously a couple of decisions went against us, and that sort of forced us to. Well, it forced us to play worse because we didn't really trust the officials. Cardiff are a better side than us, I will admit. I thought they played some good hockey at times. It was a very boring game, though. I mean, it was too sort of more the play was actually played in the centre rather than down both ends. No team really actually got a grip of the game. Like neither of us really attacked. Well, I don't really mean that, but neither of us really had any clear cut scoring opportunities other than the ones we did. I know that the Devils may have put one wide with an open net, or that might have been the other weekend. I'm not quite sure. But it was just a frustrating game. Very flat atmosphere in the building. I'm pretty sure no one was shouting. I think everyone was just tired, to be honest. And yeah, honestly, I'm so sorry about the light. Well, the thing is, it's a good job. It's just more of a talking video rather than a visual. Okay, we'll move on to the new signing today. Dave, because I can't remember his name. Dave. I know it's Marek something, but obviously I'm just going to call him Dave. I've looked at his sort of CV. It looks okay. I know he didn't play much last season. Well, that's what I've heard anyway. I'm not quite sure. I had a brief overview of him. I didn't look at his all his in-depth stats because I just haven't got around to it yet. But obviously he's a defenseman. He's coming in obviously for reinforcements. I mean, Jonas Living, he hurt himself on Sunday. It looked quite a bad sort of arm injury that he had because he was down clutching it for quite a while. So hopefully it's nothing serious. I know it's 6 weeks. So it makes you ask the question: is Dave in on a 6 week contract or is he here for a year, the season? I don't personally know. I mean, we don't really know the ins and outs. I mean, look at Martin St. Pierre. I thought he was here for a couple of years and he's gone already. I mean, I think the club need to make that clearer because if fans are like, oh yeah, we're going to buy jerseys, just make it clearer. Are we going to see this guy for a number of years, or are you going to crop him after a month? So, what are we talking about next? The club in general. Okay, so at the minute, obviously, we're not in the position we want to be. At the start of the season, it was HMS, run the league, whatever it is. I'm not swearing on here. But obviously, that was a joke. I put that out there as a joke. I didn't really mean it. I didn't. I should have made it a bit clearer myself that I didn't expect it. What I expected was better than last season. Now, currently, we've got the same record as last season. However, I don't personally think that we have played that bad. I think our passing is better, our play is better, it's more exciting to watch. Whereas last season, it was dreadful. I mean, Paul Thompson obviously outstayed his welcome, and we just went downhill, really, from start to finish. I mean, the opening day loss to MK Lightning was just shocking, and it just went downhill from there. Now, obviously, this season, we opened it with a good win over the Panthers, obviously in the Challenge Cup, then went away and lost. Then the following Saturday, we messed up at home against Coventry, and messed up against Glasgow, messed up against Cardiff, all on home ice. We had 3 losses on home ice so far. Now, that isn't a team that's going to end up going to do something by the end of the season. So we need to really get a grip right now, because if we carry on like we are now, we're going to be done for again. And we're going to have another season of not winning anything. It'll get to the end of the season, it's just boring, because we have nothing to play for. Now, I can't have that. I personally cannot have that. Because I turn up to games, I expect to see the Steelers at least compete. And they have been. so far this season. I mean, last season I was paying all my money and I was just wanting to go home by the end of the second period. Now, this is not a video for happy clappers. And by saying that, I mean, turn off now if you're going to get triggered by what I'm saying. Because I'm sick and tired of sort of people... Right, I don't know how to describe it, but the Steelers are being made out like they're really good. Okay? Lower your expectations of them. Because on paper, they're a good side, but they have not gelled at all. Right? Lower those expectations, don't have them up here. Because at the start of the season, now we're like, maybe we'll finish first. Maybe we'll finish first. And I predicted we finish first, simply to give myself a little bit of hope. But now if I was going to predict, I think we finish fourth. Like I said last season, I said, we will finish fourth this season. And look what happened. And when I said we'd finish fourth, I got so slated on that article I had to take it down. Now, I've predicted first this year and everyone loves me for it. Listen to this. We're not finishing first. We're going to finish about fourth. We might do something in the Challenge Cup. Might do something in the playoffs. It's not guaranteed. With the team we have on paper, what we should be getting is titles, Challenge Cup, playoffs, conference. We should be beating the teams, but we're not. We don't have the God-given right to win as the Steelers, right? And sometimes I do think we see that as a fan base as well. I just think we see it as, Steelers have a God-given right to win. We're going to win this weekend. Then we don't. Then it's, we'll win next weekend. Not just forgetting about the loss that's just happened. Now, this weekend, right, I predicted 2 losses. 5-2 and 4-2. We lost 5-2 and 3-2. So I was 1 goal out of a perfect prediction, right? Now, that has not happened to me so far this season. I'll tell you why. Because so far this season, I have predicted that we will win every single game. It doesn't happen. It's sport. When we lose games that we should win, it's frustrating. Glasgow, last Sunday, should have won it. Coventry, a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, should have won it. In 2 winning positions. Did we win it? No. Glasgow, 4-0 down. Did we give ourselves a good position to win that game? No. Why? Why? It's because we're not as good as we thought we were. Now, fans obviously will get behind the team. I like getting behind the team. I like sort of shouting, screaming games. You know, it's good to get behind the team. But when they're not putting the performance in that you want, that's when it gets frustrating. Right. I don't want to talk about individual players, but there's one particular player this season which I have thought he has been very, very bad. And I'm sure that some people may know who he is. I don't want to name names. However, his capabilities on the ice have just seemed to drop. 2 years ago, that player would have been excellent. He would have not done the mistakes he's doing now. He would have looked like he wanted to be there. And he would have performed well. Scored goals, got assists. So far, we need him off his power play. We need him playing better. And we need his confidence back. Because he looks like he does not want to be there one single bit. And it's frustrating. And I can hear it in the crowd. Every time he messes up, he's at it again. He's at it again. He's at it again. How many times does he need to do it before he gets dropped? That's what I'm asking. I hate being negative, I really do. But it's frustrating, because when you're in the crowd and you see a player mess up, you're thinking, wow, I'm not allowed to slate him now because I should be playing. That seems to be a current theme going around Twitter, going around everything. If you do not know how to play, you cannot slate another player. Why? If we know, and we've seen enough hockey to see what makes a good player, we should be able to give an opinion on him. And I don't think he's good enough at the minute. I think he's really, really poor. I don't know if you know if he's got a point yet. I really don't. I'm not naming it. I really am not. You'll know who it is. I'm not bothered. Okay, take it. It's simple. I don't want to name this player because I don't want it coming back on me. Oh, you said this about him. It could be any player. It could be, honestly. We'll move on. Reinforcements. So, obviously, we're very short on D at the minute. And we've got a couple of defenders who are younger. I mean, this weekend, Challenge Cup, I think we should sort of play the youngsters. I think we should give them a chance. I don't think we will. I don't think it's really... I think the Steelers sort of bring the youngsters in, don't really play them. Send them to the Steel Dogs. And that's that. I don't know if they're full-time with the Steel Dogs or what, but we never seem to see them. I mean, I think I've seen Kieran Brown have a couple of shifts this season. And Kieran Brown is in his third season now with the Steelers. Realistically, he should be on the fourth line. I know that we have the problem of, who do we put on the fourth line because we've got so many fourth liners. That might also be a problem. It is frustrating. And there's another player that's an assistant at the minute, assistant captain. Brendan Connolly. He needs to stop taking stupid penalties and being an idiot. Like, from the moment we signed him, I thought he's a good goal scorer, but he's a monumental arse because he will play dirty. I mean, there was a video the other week of him. I think it was either slew footing or something. A Dundee Stars play for no real reason. I mean, he just punches players. He's hitting when they're on the floor. He needs to tame himself because he's one of our good players. Now, if he acts like a tit all game, he's going to be off the ice. Now, he's our assistant captain, but he spends most of his time in penalty box and most of his time sort of missing opportunities. It's frustrating, and yes, I don't play. Well, I do play. I play at a poor level, but I know enough about hockey to judge, and that is not being big-headed. People who have been to a season long will know what makes a good hockey player. Attitude, okay? Just strength, speed, obviously, but attitude is one of the main things. Attitude is a thing that happens in all sport. And as I mentioned with the player earlier, the attitude that he's showing at the minute is very poor. His body language makes it look like he does not want to be there. And another example, Brendan Connolly. His attitude, he's taking loads of penalties. He doesn't need to take those penalties. They're stupid. He's better on the ice than he is off the ice. Now, I just think we need to get into the head of some of these players and tell them this is not good enough. And I know that Aaron Fox might be doing this. I'm not quite sure. I really hope he is. Just need to drill it into him. It's not good enough. Look where you are. Look at yourselves. Go and do better. Otherwise, you're out. Now, I saw an article, I think it might have been yesterday or the day before, that said basically that if one or two players are continually not performing, then they're going to go. Now, I would love to see that. I mean, it'd look like the coach wants the best for the club. And I want the best for the club. Now, on paper, and I mean this, we have one of the best teams in that league. But in real life, it's mid-table at best. It's a 5th, 5th, 6th, And most of the time the Steelers come good. But it's going to be could it be 3 seasons trophyless? That's how you've got to look at it. I mean, it would have been 3 seasons trophyless up to now had Nelson not scored in overtime. It's frustrating, and I've calmed down now, but I went on a bit of a rant because as a Payne fan, it is frustrating to see sort of how the team should be good, but they've just not been. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to leave it there and actually get on with some uni work. So hopefully I'll see you next week, and I hope you enjoyed this rant. Hope we win Saturday. I haven't looked ahead to Saturday, I just need a breather. Right, see you later.